the hotel that doesn't exist. Ryan was a travel photographer who loved exploring strange places. One evening, while driving back from a remote village, his car broke down on a lonely highway. His phone had no signal, and the night was getting colder. As he searched for help, he noticed a neon sign glowing faintly in the distance, Rosewood Grand Hotel. Relieved, Ryan walked toward it. The hotel looked old but elegant, its massive glass doors opening automatically as if expecting him. Inside, the lobby was grand yet strangely silent. A young woman stood at the reception desk, smiling politely. "Welcome, Mr. Ryan," she said softly. Ryan froze. "How do you know my name?" She handed him a key without answering. "Room 606. Please enjoy your stay." Confused but too tired to argue, Ryan took the elevator. When the doors opened, the hallway was lined with mirrors on both sides. Each reflection looked normal, except one. In a single mirror, his reflection didn't move when he did. Shaken, he hurried to room 606. Inside, the room was perfectly prepared, with fresh sheets and a tray of food waiting for him. On the bedside table lay a diary titled Guest Log, Room 606. Curious, he opened it and saw names, dates, and strange notes like, "Checked in, March 5, 1978. Never checked out." The last entry sent chills down his spine. Ryan Cooper arrival, tonight. Suddenly, he heard soft whispers coming from the bathroom. Slowly, he opened the door, but it was empty. Then his phone vibrated that no signal, no network, yet a message appeared on the screen. "Do not leave your room after midnight." At exactly 12 a.m., a loud knock echoed at his door. He froze. Another knock followed, harder this time. "Room service," a male voice said softly. But when Ryan peered through the peephole, the hallway was empty. He stepped back, heart pounding. Suddenly, the lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. He grabbed his camera, using its flash to light the space. Every flash revealed shadows moving closer. In one shot, he caught a figure standing right behind him. Terrified, he ran out into the hallway, but it had changed completely. It wasn't the same floor anymore. The walls were cracked, lights broken, and everything smelled like burnt wood. The elevator was gone, replaced by a dark staircase leading down. He followed it, hearing faint screams and whispers echoing below. At the bottom, he entered a massive ballroom filled with hundreds of old photographs pinned to the walls. Each photo showed a different guest who had stayed in room 606. In the center of the room stood the receptionist. But her face was different, half burned, half decayed. "You checked in, Ryan," she whispered, her voice hollow. "And now you belong here." Before he could react, the floor collapsed beneath him. He fell into darkness, screaming, until everything went silent. The next morning, Highway Patrol found Ryan's broken car on the roadside, but there was no sign of any hotel in the area. Locals claimed the Rosewood Grand burned down 30 years ago, killing everyone inside. Yet Ryan's camera was recovered from the grass nearby. The last photo on it showed him standing in the hotel lobby, smiling, holding the key to room 606. The train that never stops. Late at night, Zion boarded the last train home. The compartments were silent, except for a few sleepy passengers. At the third station, he noticed something strange. No one ever got off, and no one who got on. Confused, he asked the old man next to him, "When do we reach Karachi?" The man smiled faintly and whispered, "We don't." Zion laughed nervously, but when he checked his phone, there was no signal, no network, no time. The train entered a dark tunnel, and the lights began to flicker. Suddenly, the faces of the passengers turned pale, their empty eyes staring directly at him. One by one, they began to vanish, leaving only their seats behind. Zion ran to the driver's cabin, but when he opened the door, there was no driver. No controls. Just tracks floating endlessly in darkness. The train still hasn't stopped.
The room with no exit. Arib checked into a cheap hotel for the night. The receptionist smiled strangely and said, "Room 404, check out before sunrise." The room was small but clean, at 3 a.m. Arib woke to a faint knock on the door. When he opened it, there was only a long, endless hallway where the hotel corridor used to be. He started walking, but every door he tried was locked. Finally, he returned to his room, only to find another Arib sleeping in his bed. Shaken, he ran back to the lobby, but instead of the reception desk, there was a giant mirror inside it. He saw hundreds of terrified faces banging on the glass. Then his reflection smiled and whispered, "Your checkout is permanent." The next day, room 404 was empty again, waiting for its next guest. The voice. At midnight, Hina heard her mother calling from the kitchen. She walked over, but the kitchen was empty. Suddenly, her phone buzzed, a message from her mother. "Don't go there, I'm not home."